Okay, syllabus. So just hitting some of the highlights. I trust that you will read this on your own. Do take note that there is a portion to have your parents fill it out and sign it. You will return this next class. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so I don't know if I even said our names yet. I am Mrs. Margraf. This is Miss Charlotte. We are your Algebra 1 teachers for the entire year, you lucky ducks. And our contact information is on here. Our emails are on here. Of course, they're also on Blackboard as well. Blackboard is one of our biggest forms of communication, so make sure you are checking that regularly. You can see inside the topics that we're going to learn about this year. Algebra 1 is extremely important for every math class that follows. Any math class you take after this will be using Algebra 1. So we're basically the foundation, the building blocks for the math classes to follow. We do a lot with variables. It's no longer just numbers, but we throw in those letters that represent a value. And also we'll be doing some graphing. And Virginia loves statistics, so there will be a little bit of that as well. The grade for the class is made up of assessments, major assessments, which are going to be your tests, minor assessments, which are going to be your quizzes, and assignments, which are homework and classwork. And you can see the breakdown for that. And thinking far ahead to May, you will be taking an SOL test for this class. And if you pass it, you get a 5% bonus on your midterm final exam, and a 10% if you pass advanced. So keep that in mind. Really, you should just be trying to learn the information anyways, but that is a nice little bonus there. Your final grade for the entire year is based upon each of the 4 quarters, as well as your final and midterm exam grades, each of those being worth 20%. The midterm final combined to be 20%. We do follow FCPS grading scale. It's there for your information. And then starting this year at Herndon, we have a grading floor, which is a minimum of 50. But do know that this does not apply to individual homework assignments. This is only for the assignment grade total, which you'll have this for each unit, and that total is what goes into the grade book. So make sure you are completing each of your individual homework assignments.
And do be aware, 50% is not passing, 64% is passing. So yes, that's the floor there, but you should be doing better than 50%.
Yes, please. All right, and because this paragraph is so important, I'm going to read this to you. Homework is essential to a student's success. That's you. Practice at home is extremely important for students to master mathematical concepts. We recommend students complete assignments on the night they are assigned, and it is a good idea to then go back and look at it before you come into class, just to refresh your memory. And homework will be assigned and checked daily on the assignment sheet, which is this guy here. You will be getting this at the start of each unit. I think I've got it up here as well. Yeah. So here's your assignment sheet. You can see that here's today, and we are going over the course syllabus, and we are actually going to start into some information today, learn about translating verbal and algebraic expressions. It has for you your homework, and this is where we will check off your homework and initial that you've done it, or the completion points based on how much you have completed. Each assignment will be worth 10 points, as you can see, and will be graded based upon completeness and accuracy. So you must attempt every single problem in order to get credit for it. Even if you don't understand, I need you to give it a good shot. Look at your notes, look at the book, ask us questions, ask your friend, stay after for help. I expect you to try every single part. If you don't try, you're not going to learn anything, and you're not going to succeed, and we're here to help you succeed. Late homework will receive half credit and will only be accepted 1 class period late. Even if it's more than 1 class period late, still want that homework, we will challenge you for it, so it's best just to do it the first time around.
We will give you a certain amount of points up until at least the test day. So please get it done. Alright?
And then that last sentence is just re-emphasizing that homework total is only 10% of your grade. Alright, so stinger time. For those of you that are new to Herndon, haven't dealt with the stinger time yet, it starts tomorrow on block days. And that is a rotation through the different periods. So anytime that it is stinger time 7, then you will be here. Stinger 7, you will come here and we will do remediation. It's a time for make it up work. We might do some extensions, learning more about the material that we're working with. So that's another time that's good for you to get help from us. Tests will be given at the end of each unit, and they are cumulative, meaning that it includes the information previous to that unit. So, for example, Unit 4, the test would have Unit 4 material, but also some problems from Units 1, 2, and 3, just to constantly review those materials and make sure you know that before midterm, SOL, final exam, and moving on to geometry. Makeup work. You're responsible for your own makeup work. Make sure you're checking Blackboard. We will be posting everything on there, so that's where you can access the notes that you missed. We'll be uploading videos of the stuff that we do here in class, so you can watch through that. If you don't have access to Blackboard at home, text a friend and ask them what you missed, and or make a trip over to the library and get online and look at it. You are responsible for making sure you get your makeup work. Also, when you are absent, over here along the wall, I'll write your name on the worksheets that I passed out, and you'll have copies of those here for when you return. But you can, of course, access it on Blackboard as well.
You should, if you miss a day, unless there's extenuating circumstances, if you're homesick, pull up your Blackboard and watch the video as soon as it gets posted. It may not be posted that day, but it should be posted within 2 to 3 days when you were missed.
And then watch Netflix after that.
Maybe in between clips.
Alright, if you... Yes, if a student misses a test or quiz, it will be made up after school or during stinger time within 1 week. Really, it's going to be the next class period you're here, because you don't want to wait longer because you'll forget it and we're learning other things. But with school ending so much later, it's probably best to make it up more so during stinger time, but if we need to split it between those two, we'll work with you with that. Students will have 1 day per excused absence to make up any missed homework. Work from unexcused absences cannot be made up, so make sure you're not skipping school. Yes. Oh, thank you, Evan. Alright, and then retakes. If you choose to retake a test, you will have to complete test corrections, and I will also require you to have all your homework done. So again, get it done the first time around so you don't have a load of work afterwards. And you see the formula for your score. It's 2 times the best score plus 1 of the lower score divided by 3. So it's a kind of an average of those. But do not be relying upon the retakes. I had students last year that were relying on the retakes, and then they were retaking every single test and in multiple classes, and it got very overwhelming. So be proactive, do your work the first time around, come see us for help, and we'll try to get you on the right track.
At the same token, though, if you're not doing well on those tests, and you're not doing your homework, and you come to us at the end of the one going, Smart Graph and Charlotte, I have a D, I don't want a D, my mom's going to be mad at me, I'm going to say, well, did you retake the test? Did you do your homework? And if you did, I'll say, okay, let's figure out, we'll find a way to get your good grade boosted. If you didn't, falls in your court. Okay?
There's like important tests that you guys make that's like probably half of our grade. Can we retake that if we're not here or something?
So all tests are worth the same amount, except for the midterm and the final. The midterm and the final are averaged together and counted as 20% of your final grade. And those two, unfortunately, are not retakeable. But if you're talking about missing a day, if you missed class, you'll have a chance to take it, as long as you weren't skipping.
So don't skip. And when you're gone, still bring us food when you come back. Yes, but never skip.
Always.
But we always welcome food. Alright, there's lovely information about course description. If you really want to see the state standards, the links are provided for you. Have at it. There's the vision statement with pride, participation, respect, integrity, diligence, and empathy. That's Herndon High School's kind of initiative to help enforce good behavior, encourage good behavior. And do you want to go and explain about the pride cards?
Yes. So pride cards. Some of you know them from last year. Some of you know them from freshman orientation. But for those of you who don't, they look like this. And they are basically a raffle ticket. So you will get one for a multitude of things. I give them to people who turn in all of their homework for a unit. I give them sometimes when you ask questions in class, when you offer answers in class. Sometimes I give them out. Not every single time, but sometimes. If I see you helping someone pick up stuff that fell on the ground, if I see you being really nice to someone who looks sad, or anything like that, any reason really, we'll give you a pride card. You'll put your name on it, and you'll take it to your grade level office and you'll drop it off. It'll go in a big box and they'll draw a name from it, and whoever they draw gets a prize. Right now, this week, they're doing Max tickets. And sometimes the prizes are smaller, sometimes they're gift cards, sometimes they're little neat things, sometimes movies. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different things. And normally they'll announce what the different drawings are for the week, so you can save them up theoretically all for one and deduct all your cards into one and have a really high chance of winning it. Yes. Grade level office. So I always get this wrong. I think black office is downstairs, red office is upstairs. Red office is freshman and sophomore, and black office is junior and senior, I think.
No, black office is 9 and 12. And
Okay.
It's
9 and
10
10.
and 11. 10
Yeah.
and 11.
It's split 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, so it's got to be one way or the other.
That's how they told me because that's what they told me. The black office is 9 and 12.
Go to the black office and ask them.
I don't.
They'll tell you where you go. Black office is across from the elevator, by the way, down there.
They do have, I think, like 20 sets of Max tickets, though,
Yeah,
for
they're
a
a
game
lot.
coming up in a couple times. Anybody Nationals fans? Yeah, watch
Did anyone
some.
have like family members who would love you forever if you gave them Max tickets?
You can sell it to
There you
them.
go.
Make me a big cookie. And
Say
I'll
like,
give you
this
Max tickets.
is your Christmas present for
There you
the
go.
rest of my life. And I'm good.
So that's just an awesome system that Hernan has in place to help encourage good behavior. I don't know if elementary schools here did like cop being good or anything like that. It's kind of like that. So be on the lookout for getting those. Also, Herndon's mission statement, I love this. All Hornets are capable of success, no exceptions. And so I just want to let you guys know that what we're saying with this is we believe in you. We believe that you can do it. We know that you can succeed in Algebra 1. We know that you can succeed in your other classes and just in life in general. And we're here to help you achieve your goals and here to help you achieve that success. And so when you're struggling, don't give up. I know there will be times that you get discouraged, but don't give up. Ask us for help, and we are more than willing to give it to you.
Definitely, if you're struggling, don't just keep it in, because that's what makes you give up. If you come to us, we can try and help you hang on a little bit longer.
And we're not too scary, so don't be
We're
afraid.
just super weird. I mean, there's a difference, a little difference. But
Herndon High School attendance policy, come to school, don't skip, don't miss. Grading policy, do your homework, get good grades. Okay, online textbook. We do have an online textbook for this class. We don't use it a whole lot, but it is a good resource. I will be getting your username, passwords, and stuff set up within the next couple of weeks. They'll probably be later, though, since we're not as big on the textbook. But it is a good resource for you to look at extra information. They also have homework video tutors on there, where it's just someone working through an example problem. So if you're struggling with a certain topic, you can watch that too. It's nice to sometimes hear someone else.
you can find those things on YouTube too sometimes.
Yeah, Khan Academy is good. Has anybody used Khan Academy before?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I know there's another good one.
What's that?
You know, hearing these virtual nerds. That's really
Virtual
good.
Nerds? I think I've heard of that
Just
one.
get on YouTube and type in how to solve it so why, and I'm sure you'll
Yep.
find a whole bunch.
All right, student expectations. It's high school, you're adults, let's act like it. Work from bell to bell. I expect you to come to class on time. By the time the bell rings, you should be in your seat with your homework out, your assignment sheet out, ready to be checked, a piece of paper out working on the warm-up. So I expect you to be in your seat ready to go as soon as the bell rings. I don't want to have to be telling you what to do. Be prepared and participate fully in all activities. So thank you for you guys and participating in our Get to Know You activity. Be prepared, have a pencil, have paper, bring your homework, bring your assignment sheet. Be respectful of others, the teacher, the school, and yourself. Don't touch what isn't yours. Be kind, be polite, no curse words, the usual. Do things only at appropriate times, so think before you act, think before you speak, and follow all teacher instructions. Honor code, don't cheat. And it has listed here supplies for you. TIA 83 or 84 graphing calculator, either one is fine. If you're able to get your hands on an 84, I would recommend that only because it has a particular update that is more user-friendly. The display is nicer than the 83. And so you don't have to use as many parentheses and things like that. So if you're able to get the 84, I would recommend that. The 83 works just the same. It's perfectly fine. For Algebra 1, we do have that you're allowed to check out a calculator if you're not able to afford one. But do know that you will need that same graphing calculator for the rest of your high school years, and potentially some classes, if you take some classes in college, math classes might require that as well. You need it for geometry, algebra 2, pre-calc, prop stat, all those classes you need it for. So it is something.
And geometry does not rent out to you. So if you want to be able to have one at home to go work on, you're gonna need to get one for yourself. Go on eBay, you can find them sometimes at like thrift stores or pawn shops, or and just look around and shop for one that you can afford.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so again, it doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. It can be used, that's perfectly fine, but you will need one, and in the years to come. Alright, extra AAA batteries, that's for the graphing calculator, because they like to die on you. Bring loose leaf notebook paper, graph paper. We will have you do some things by hand. And of course, come prepared with writing utensils. I prefer you write in pencil, but I understand the desire for pen, but we ask that you don't write in pen on tests or quizzes when we're grading that. And then box of tissues and thin dry erase marker. Box of tissues is just so that once the colds start going around the school and we've got runny noses, we have tissues to blow our lovely runny noses with. So please bring a box of tissues and a thin dry erase marker. I'm a big fan of using whiteboards for practice problems, and so a thin, yeah, that kind. And if you want the thicker one, that's fine. Usually the thin one works better though because it's not huge. So dry erase marker, but the thin one's fine. And if you want to bring in more than one, that's perfectly fine as well. So those are just kind of classroom donations. Alrighty, and then extra help will be after school on Thursdays. That's when the late classes. And we're also available other days as well. Just come talk to us and let us know when you need help, and we can try to work with your schedule. And then there's free tutoring services at Herndon, including Math Honor Society. They're required to be there, so you might as well utilize them. And that starts up in October. And then there's also
really great guys. They work with you one-on-one. But remember, they're only here for about 45 minutes to an hour after the bell rings, so get here quickly. Do not take your time to get over there.
Yeah. And
across the hall.
there's free tutoring at the Herndon Methodist Church. So let us know if you need more information on those. Now, with that being said, also, I know Mitchell already talked on this, but I did want to re-emphasize this, that cell phones are supposed to be off and out of sight in this classroom. If I see it or I hear it, I will confiscate it. So I do not want to see it, I do not want to hear it. There may be times in which we ask you to get it out for an activity, and that's fine, you may use it then, but then put it back away when we're done with it. I don't want that to be distracting you from learning math. Alright, any questions on the syllabus? Notice again, this portion is something you need to bring back next class with your parents, having reviewed it and signed it. Now, those of you, does anybody know right now that they want a calculator checkout form? I have them printed off, and I have both Spanish and English. So if you want a form, go ahead and raise your hand, and then just tell me which one you want.
You're either going to need to rent one or buy one. There is no third answer. So either you're going to buy it or rent it. If you're not sure, just take the form and take the
If you want both, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys want
Yeah, you're allowed to have both. I'm sorry, but if your parents speak French, I don't have French, but.
Is that what you're looking for? Is French?
English. Yeah, we can start checking out calculators. Let me think. Next Monday, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't remember Spanish or English. English? English. For you? I don't know any French. The only French I know is oui, fermez la bouche. Does that mean shut your mouth? That's all my mom remembered. That's all I know of French. Alright, anybody else need a form? Okay. So again, have your parents fill that out, and we'll take care of that next week. Okay? Alright, any questions before we move on to the actual lesson for today? We actually get to learn math. Any questions? Okay. Also, a quick note on the calculators. They have TI-89. I would not recommend buying that. It's a completely different setup than the type of calculators that we use, and it would be more confusing for you to have
You
it.
won't use that on the SLO, so you'll get used to using something that you cannot use on the SLO.
It's something more so for, I mean, I never actually used an 89 in all my math classes, so I think it's kind of more engineering based. But, so don't be tricked by that. Also, there's a TI Inspire. That's a completely different setup as well, so I would just recommend the 83 or the 84. Okay, let's go ahead and get underway with our notes. Okay, so I'm passing out to you right now the assignment sheet, and this is something you need to protect with your life. This is where we will record your homework grades, and if you lose this, you lose your homework grades, and then we have no homework grades to give you, and zeros are no fun.
Do we need a binder?
Yes, yeah. You're gonna want to get a 3-ring binder for your notebook check. It only needs to be like an inch. It doesn't have to be one of those big ones.
Do you think you can have those big ones that you share with classes?
Yeah, that would be fine. Because we'll just check it while you're taking your test. So that's fine if you want to use it for your other classes as well. Thank you. Alright, and we'll try to put it on colored paper to help you remember where you last put it. And so you'll see there's the notebook right down at the bottom. And so you'll need to make sure you keep your materials organized, and the materials are great because the worksheets are numbered, so all you have to do is just make sure you have all the numbered worksheets. You get a point for having the worksheets and for the worksheets actually being filled out. So make sure you're doing your homework and make sure you're taking notes. Okay.
And guys, the notes seriously are fill in the blanks. And we're giving you what to put in most of the time. So there really is no excuse not to have it filled in.
And should you lose your notes, it'll be up on Blackboard as well. And so you can always print off the copy from there and then fill it in again.
And you can watch the video online to fill in.
Alright, so taking a look at this first worksheet you just got, worksheet number 1. So we're talking about translating verbal and algebraic expressions. And really what this is taking an equation, I think I erased it over here. Let's say like 2 times 3 plus 4. And writing this into words. And likewise taking word problems and translating them into algebraic expressions where we use the numbers and the symbols. So to save on time, we're not going to break up into groups, but I want you just to take a couple minutes right now and list as many words as you can think of that mean the given operation. So for example, this addition sign here, the word add would mean to add. Also the word sum, more, yep, more than. So I want you to go through and go ahead and write down words that could be used to represent each of these symbols. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that, and then we'll share together. So what are some words that we have for our addition symbol? Anything other than add, sum, more than? Do we anything else?
Plus.
Plus, very good. Any other ideas?
Positive.
Positive? Good, good. So positive would mean definitely that it's a positive number there, the plus sign. All right, so when talking about the sign of the number. You're adding a positive amount. Other words? We could also say total of. Let's see, we've got some. Add. We could also say increased by. So these are all words that would indicate that we're going to use the addition sign, that we're adding something to it. All right, how about our subtraction sign here? Minus, very good. Very good, subtract. Yes, good, negative.
Less than.
Hold on. Okay, less than. Decrease, good. Man, you guys are rocking it. Anything else? Takeaway, yeah. I think that's probably what we, the term that we used back in elementary. Still definitely use it now. Any other ideas? The words? Yes.
How can you record yourself?
So this, what we do is we record one of the lessons that we teach and put that up on Blackboard so that when you're absent, then you can play that and look through the lesson so that you can see the lesson that you missed.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool that Charlotte taught me today. All right, other examples for the subtraction sign. Someone earlier they said deduct. That's a good one. I feel like there was another word they said. I can't remember exactly what it is. I feel like there's something with money.
Withdraw.
Withdraw. That's what it was. Someone else today had also said withdraw. If you think about withdrawing money from an account, you're taking money out of it. Good. All right. How about our multiplication sign here? What are some examples we have for this? Times. Multiply. Let's do that. How about a word that starts with a P?
Per.
P-R-O.
Product.
Yes, good, product. What's that? Parentheses?
No, right?
8 points?
Like
That's addition.
APR?
No, wait, I think that's division.
Like so many per person? Yes, I see what you're saying. Like
Yeah, per.
10 per person. So I guess I would go with, if we had 10 per person, that would be multiplication.
Yeah.
I'll go with it, per.
Make sure
I'm
you
going to
do
write per person so we
Yeah.
know what we're talking about.
per item.
That could possibly also mean division if you said 20 items, how many would 4 people get, how many per person? Could go both ways. Very good. Other ideas for the multiplication there?
Ms. Margraf, I'd like to jump in and ask something about this multiplication sign.
Yeah.
Why are we using this as our multiplication sign?
Could be mistaken for a variable.
To be mistaken for a variable. So in algebra, we use x as a variable. So I don't want to see an x for multiplication, okay? We use the little period or parentheses, very good. So I would do 9 parentheses 8, or I can put parentheses around both of them. Why do I want to make sure if I'm using the dot, it's in the middle and not on the bottom? Decimal, right. So always try to make sure for multiplication you are using a dot in the middle or you are using parentheses. Okay? Oh, and if I have a variable, so if I'm doing x, how would I combine that with 9? Do I need to put anything next to them? No. Would I put 9 in front or in the back? In front. The number goes first. So when I'm multiplying 9 times x, I can just glue them together. I don't need to put a dot in it. Got it?
If you want to, that's fine.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't
welcome
have
to. Yeah. Awesome.
Alright, the only other ones I can think of for multiplication is if you think of twice, or like if you have yes. Yeah, twice or double, good. So some of those other words that we might not quickly think of math with, like a double scoop of ice cream. And then also words such as squared or cubed. Or to the power of.
Now, what do those words mean? What are those words talking about? What kind of number, what do we call those kind of numbers?
Cube?
So, a cubed number, if I did cubed, thank you, Ms. Margraf, that would be 2 to the 3rd power. What is my 3? What do we call for the 3?
Square. No, wait, that's wait.
Starts with an
You're
E.
on the right track. I know what you're thinking.
Exponent, very
Yeah.
good. And we'll be doing a lot of exponents later.
Oh, and I love exponents.
We'll have
They're
fun with
so
them.
much fun.
We will.
Especially the negative ones. Those are my favorite. Alright, so a lot of different things for multiplication. And then finally our other main operation. These are called operators, or an operation is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So our last operator is division. So what words would we use for this? Division or divide. Very good.
Starting out with the basics.
What else? Half. Very good. That's a very good one that we might not think of right away. When we use the term half, what are we dividing by?
I'm splitting 2.
2. Very good. So likewise, we might have thirds, fourths, and so on. All right, Jordy.
Group?
Group?
Like, I heard it before, but I don't know if it's
Or you want to like put it in groups, kind of like the per person thing? Yeah, we can do it that way. So like in groups. Because if you have let's say we have 50 Pride tickets and we have 10 students to give them to, how many groups of tickets will each student get? Yeah, very good. Quotient, very good terminology. I love it when we use the proper math terminology. Very good. Quotient.
Fancy.
Fraction, very good. And another one, oh, go ahead, Evan. Dividend.
Ooh. Yeah.
Dividend is a very specific portion of the division. Very good. All right, and another word that you will learn more about later is ratio. That's another common one.
Ratio is kind of like another word for fraction.
All right. Any questions on these 4 categories so far? Okay. All right, so we've got 2 very important ones for this guy, the equal sign. What words come to mind for equal sign? Equal to,
Got one.
and there's another real big one. Oh, sorry. Is. What did somebody else say it is? What is equal to? Total? So total, yeah, you can say in total, yeah, equal to, good. So we've got, I mean, you said is. I'd say equal to and is are the big ones, but if you say how many total, all right, and then we've got our 4 signs here. These are what we call inequalities. Oh, sorry.
Oh no,
Did you say that one? What are these?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Which one's the less than? Top left. Very good. So we have, this sign means is less than. And it is very important that you have the word is in there.
If I don't have is in there, what is that? There you go.
Very good.
Very good.
So notice the difference. Is less than.
Circle it, do whatever you need to do to that to
Just
remind
less.
yourself of that. That's a big deal.
If you think of it this way, equal sign, we use the word is for. An inequality is kind of a replacement for an equal sign. They're not the exact same value. We're comparing the amounts. So an inequality is a different symbol, same type of category as equal sign. So you notice the use of the word is there lets you know it's going to be Either the equal sign if it's just is, or an inequality if it has less than or greater than.
Now, I'm telling you, the SOL and the unit test we give you will try to trip you up on that. So please pay attention to that. Be careful.
Alright, so we have is less than. I'm going to jump down to the one underneath it. Anybody know what this one is?
Less than or greater to.
Less than
or something.
equal to. Good.
You're on
And
the right
again,
track.
we have that is less than or equal to.
It's half the
Yes,
Sorry.
very good. It's like they took the inequality and smushed it together with the equal sign. It could also be equal to that number.
Now, if you have trouble remembering which one is greater than and which one is less than, go back to elementary school and remember your little gator mouse. Remember, he wants to eat whatever's bigger. So if I have he's eating whatever bigger, that means this has to be less than 8 because he could care less about 4 when he can eat 8. Right?
Okay, and then how about our other two signs here? What's the top one? Yes, is more than or is greater than. Good. And again, the use of the word is. Is greater than. And we might use the word more there. And then likewise, is greater than or equal to.
I see most of you have these written down. Please do make sure you have them written down if you do not. Anything up there that you don't have, you should have.
Any questions on this?
And every single thing that's written up there, you should have on your paper.
And then the next chunk there says important than. So when we see these terms less than, greater than, as we said before, we need to be careful about the word is. When is before less than or greater than, there is an inequality symbol.
Please fill that in.
So that's going to be one of these guys. Those are your inequality symbols. When is not before less than or greater than, it means add or subtract. We have just less than, just greater than. And when that's the case, you have to change the order or flip the order. Alright, so for example, if I say, I always forget to write that. Okay, 5 less than 10. Notice the use of less than. There's no is. This is simply subtraction. So 5 less than 10 means I have 10 total, and I'm taking away 5. So it would be 10 minus 5. So notice we had to flip it. The use of the word less than meant that we had to flip our values there. Notice the difference. If I then said, is less than 10, the use of the word is means we're going to use the inequality.
Do I flip the order when I'm doing an inequality? No. I only do it when it's add or subtract.
Again, it's kind of that statement. Instead of an equal sign, we're making a statement, not that they're equal, but we're comparing the quantities. We're saying 5 is less than 10. Making that statement. Okay.
Please make sure you have these examples written down.
Any questions on that? Okay. So looking further down, we have example 1. 3 more than a number is less than 17. So we're going to start off with our words, and then we're going to translate that using numbers, letters, and math symbols. And then on the back side, we're going to go the opposite direction. So translate these phrases into algebraic equations. 3 more than a number is less than 17. Whenever I'm encountering word problems with math, I like to read them at least 3 times, if not more. First, read the problem just to get a general idea of what's going on. Then, go through and make notes, underline, circle, highlight, write little things above it to help you interpret what it's saying here. So, for example, 3 more than a number is less than 17. So, what are some things that we can pick out that we can already go ahead and label? 7? Oh, sorry, 17? Yeah, 17. So, we got 17, so that's the number 17. What else do we have? 40? Good. 3 more than. So notice we have the use of the word more than. What does that translate to for us, Jordy? Good. It's more than, which means we're going to be adding. And notice without the use of the word is, we're going to want to flip our numbers. Right? Okay. How about...
Is there another number there I should pull out?
Good. 3. Alright, now what about, we've got a couple different chunks of phrases left. A number, and then we have is less than. What is a number? It's a variable. Very good. I love that math terminology. So this is our variable. You can use really whatever letter you want. The common ones that are used are X, Y, Z, N sometimes. Try to stay away from numbers that, or from letters that look like symbols, such as T often looks like an addition sign. So I'm just going to use that as a very common one. And then what about the phrase is less than? What do we use for that? Yes, the
Alligator map.
alligator Pac-Man guy is less than. It's an inequality because of the use of that word is right there. So we're going to use that less than. Alright. So let's go ahead and write out what we have. 3 more than a number. So if you want to, you can kind of look at where your inequality or equal sign is and use that to build the left side and build the right side. So 3 more than a number, we have to flip it. So x plus 3 is less than 17. And that's our answer there.
Remember,
X
guys,
plus 3.
we will be checking this that it's filled in. If it's not filled in, you're not going to get your notebook points. All you have to do is copy it down.
Those notebook points are there to help buffer your grade, to give you some easy points to help counteract some difficult material you might encounter.
Easy A.
Alright, so 3 more than a number is less than 17. So we have some number, x, plus 3. 3 more than that is less than 17. Any questions on that? Give me thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down, how you feel so far about what we're doing. You can just put it right in front of you. I want to see everyone's thumbs. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do example 3 together. Alright, so we have 7 less than a number is greater than or equal to 11. Alright, so 7 less than a number is greater than or equal to 11. So let's go ahead and work our way through it. First thing we see, 7. What am I going to put there? A 7! Yes. Alright. Then we have the phrase less than. What does that translate to for us? Good, very good. A minus sign. And again, we're going to have to flip because there is no is in front. Alright. Next up, we've got a number. That's just our variable. What variable do we feel like using today, guys? X. Oh, come on.
Y.
There, okay, Y.
Shake it up a little bit.
Alright, so 7 less than a number is greater than or equal to. You notice that use of the word is. We're kind of defining, we're making that statement. So that's kind of the big punchline to the sentence here. Is greater than or equal to. So this is a long one here. Is greater than or equal to. What do we use for that guy? The Pac-Man sign with the little thingamabob underneath it, little line. Yes. erase those last 2 seconds from your memory? This guy, right?
Why does that go the other way? It's greater than. It's
Good.
bigger
Is
number.
greater than or equal to. And then what's the last piece of information we need? 11. Good. All right, now notice the words and the numbers are not always going to be in the same order when you translate it. So do be careful with this.
By the way, guys, I know you don't have a whole bunch of different colors, so you can always do like double underline, triple underline, single underline to tell the difference between them, or circle or square, whatever it takes, squiggly, circle.
Yeah. And also, guys, just to give you a heads up, I do have a bunch of colored pencils here. So if you're one that you like to use the different colors, I'm totally fine with you coming in, start a class, grab a couple colors for your notes that day. I'm perfectly fine with that. I also have some highlighters here too. If you're one that uses those, please feel free to use them. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our big statement here. We have the greater than or equal to, so I'm going to throw that guy in. All right, and we have it's greater than or equal to 11. That's pretty simple. It's nothing too difficult with that. The left side is where there's a bit more work. 7 less than a number. We know we have to flip it. So some number, y, and 7 less than, so y minus 7. I'm actually going to go ahead and write it a little bit better over here. Y minus 7 is greater than or equal to 11. That'll be your final answer.
Well, notice Miss Margraf is putting a box around her answers. That is a habit we would like you all to get into. Put a box around it, put a circle around it, do like zigzags around it, whatever it takes. Make it shout out and stand out to us.
It's huge in helping us find your answers on quizzes and tests, so please do put a box around it.
You don't want to get one wrong because we can't figure out what your answer is.
Yeah, that would
That would not be fun.
All right, questions on that? Okay, so let's take a look at going from algebraic expression into words now. Now, with this, we have a lovely worksheet to go along with it. That's a translation list. So it's kind of your translation between math and words, I guess, English, yeah. So this gives you a nice list of different words you may use. Different words you may use for the different symbols. So kind of what we did on the front side, but it's listed out all nicely for you. So these are different words you can pick from when you're writing your algebraic expressions into words. So because there are different words you can use, your answers might be slightly different from the person next to you, but as long as they're communicating the same information, that's perfectly fine. All right, so let's take a look at, let's go with example 2. We have 4a plus 21 equals 33. That's easy. All right, so we've got a few different ways we can go about doing this. How can we tackle the 4a? What can we say for that? Go ahead, Bree. Well, we don't want to solve, but I love your excitement for solving. That's great. But just writing into words what it says.
So 4 is what you start with, 4.
What?
Number.
Good. So what are we doing with the 4 and the variable? Go ahead. We're timesing it. So we can say 4 times a, or the product of 4 and a, or 4 multiplied by a. So we have all those options. 4 multiplied by is what I'm going to do.
You can choose whatever word from that word bank we have, though.
And instead of saying a, we're going to say some number, a number, an unknown value. I'm just going to say by a number.
What is that next symbol? Addition.
Addition.
So what word can you use? What's in your bank?
We can use plus. We could have also said the sum of 4 multiplied by a number and 21. I like this word here, increase by. That also means addition. That I think should be on your list there. Increase by. So I'm going to go with that one. 4 multiplied by a number increased by.
You can use plus though, or
Yeah.
addition, whatever you prefer.
Increased by 21. Right, and we're making a statement here. What can we replace the equal sign with? Is. You can say equal to, but is only 2 letters.
In math, we like to be lazy.
Is, and what's the final piece? 33. So 4 multiplied by a number increased by 21 is 33. What I like about this is that you do have the different options that you can do various things with it. I like that you can use different words. Also, I want you to take a look at the bottom of your translation list. It says miscellaneous, and underneath that it says the quantity of. With that, I want you to go ahead and put parentheses by it. So under miscellaneous, it says the quantity of.
Please write this down, guys.
Oftentimes, this is going to be a use of parentheses. And you use parentheses for grouping things together. So if we have, like for example 4 is 5 times the quantity of x minus 6. When you have multiple pieces within that parentheses, you'll often use the words the quantity of with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do actually example 4 here.
I want to give you guys a bit of a heads up. If you have the choice on what words to use and you don't feel confident with the thens, stay away from using more than and less than. Because if you get the order wrong, you're going to get it wrong.
Gotta use subtract and
Yeah.
Alright, so 5, and then we have the quantity of x minus 6. But what are we doing to this quantity? Are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing there? Multiplying. So we can, a word for multiplying, times. So 5 times
You
the
can use what word you want to use, though.
quantity of with x minus 6. X is our variable, so the quantity of a number. What word can we use for that subtraction center? We could use minus. We could have said 6 less than a number. We could have also said decreased by. I like that. I like to use that one. The number decreased by.
Stay away from using less than and more than unless you feel really confident though.
Because you have to flip that word there. And then our statement, what does this symbol represent? Very good. Is less than or equal to. And the final piece. So that would end up being a doozy there. 5 times the quantity of a number decreased by 6 is less than or equal to 10.
I should see all of these filled in, guys.
So that quantity means the parentheses.
If you're attending the Reston Teen Center, you may catch the bus at 3 o'clock, door number 1. Thank you.
Alright, any questions on that? Okay, so I'm going to pass out your homework to you. This is just practicing what we have just done, translating both ways.
Now,
And remember, you also can bring in your signed syllabus, and if you have calculator forms, those as well.
you have 2 minutes, so you may pack up, but you should not be out of your seats yet. Do you have any questions or concerns, especially about what we just covered today? If you are having trouble, especially with what we just learned, please stay after sooner rather than later. We are both here on Thursdays And we can be here another day during the week too. If you let us know ahead of time, we will arrange another day to stay after if you can't be here today. Late buses don't start for another couple weeks though.
Did he give you this?
You're keeping your notes. So your notes and the worksheet and all that stuff, they've got numbers up in the corner. You should number them or put them in according to number, and they should all go into that binder that we will be checking when you're taking your test to make sure you have them all.
So if you don't already have a binder, I would recommend getting one. And in the meantime, just put it nice and neat in a folder so you can keep track.
You
of
don't
your
have a
papers.
folder, I can give you a little manila envelope folder. It's not going to be great, but it's better than nothing.
It's good to hold you. All right. Any questions about what we've done today? All right, guys. You're almost to freedom of your first day of school. You ready?